welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, a couple of weeks ago, a new Ghostbusters trailer dropped for the new Ghostbusters reboot, and with it came a whole lot more controversy. Now, I don't want to talk about the controversy itself because I've already talked about this particular reboot and what my feelings are about it in a previous episode. Today, I want to talk about the media campaign. And the reason I want to talk about it is because for the last 10 years or so, I've been involved in training individuals and organisations in media skills and media strategies. And I've worked with and continue to work with and consult with organisations and individuals about, the best and most strategic way to engage with the media. And so I'm watching this campaign unfold, and I cannot remember in my lifetime ever seeing a more poorly executed media and PR campaign, a campaign that is now deliberately self-sabotaging. Now, it's different because there's plenty of examples you can use of people who get into the media who don't really have the skills or who don't know what to do once they're in the media, or people who don't have the budget to pull off a good PR campaign, and so they make a bit of a mess of things. Plenty of examples like that. But this is a big corporation that specialises in putting out movies, that has big budgets to deal with and train people well to engage with the media, that knows how to do PR, that knows how to promote movies, and yet it is still making an absolute mess of this to the point now where they actually are self-sabotaging their own movie. By continuing to conduct this campaign the way they have. The first thing that they got wrong was this. They completely failed to understand how important it was going to be for them to actually get the core fan base of Ghostbusters on side with this new film. They seem to completely neglect that core fan base. And then when the core fan base started to raise concerns about the film, they turned on the core fan base and actually deliberately tried to, or started alienating them by the way they were talking about them and their views and this particular movie. That's not good PR. No matter how you spin it, no matter how clever you think your tweet is, it's just not good PR at all. Now, this film really does, because Ghostbusters is a cult classic franchise, and you are therefore really relying on that core fan base to help you fuel and sell your new movie. And if you don't get them on side and then you deliberately antagonise them, that's going to be a real problem. Now, you might be thinking, but they're just a bunch of old people. Why would they? Well, because they've got disposable income and they're willing to spend that on movies, and they're probably going to be much more discerning about the way they spend it, so they could actually give it to your movie and you're losing out there. But also, a lot of them are now growing up with kids of their own. And if they're not going to take their own kids to see it, or they're going to tell their kids don't go and watch it, there's potentially a whole lot more of new generation fans who you're going to completely miss out on as well. So that's why it's really important to keep that core fan base on side. Secondly, that core fan base is actually going to start working against you publicly if you don't actually give them sort of basic respect and treat them with some basic level of decency. And that really hasn't happened in this situation. So the trailers come out, the two trailers that we've seen released. The second one is slightly better than the first, but neither trailer is really that engaging, and both trailers have some glaring problems that people have rightly picked up on. A trailer is actually a really important marketing tool for a movie in most situations. And in this case, it really was quite essential to get it right. And these trailers have got some glaring problems with them that don't help to sell the movie. Now, when people pointed out these glaring problems and started talking about the fact that they could see major problems on the horizon based on what has been presented in these trailers, the response of the studio and the filmmakers was to double down and to just turn around and attack these people. Now, what that did was it just threw petrol on the fire. And now you've got the core fan base who are agitated and upset and working against you. And now they're really committed and they're really dedicated to telling people don't go and see this film. But you've also, on top of that, dragged in a whole lot of other people who otherwise probably would have gone and seen this film, or could have gone and seen this film, who wouldn't have been interested in the controversy if it hadn't been for the fact that you turned around and doubled down on people criticising and critiquing what they've seen so far in a way that is really irrational. So the common accusation that we're hearing over and over again now is people who are opposed to this film or who can see problems, are pointing out problems and are critiquing what they see, are clearly just misogynistic sexists who are afraid of women. And there's been a whole slew. Even this week, I've read one of the actresses once again repeating these same slurs against people who are critiquing what they've seen coming out of this film so far. That's not going to help your film in the slightest. That really isn't going to help your film at all. Because I guarantee you that that sort of small minority of sort of social justice warrior types who are getting in behind this irrational, we hate misogyny type screaming on Twitter, a lot of them are not going to go and see this film, and you're certainly not going to get enough of them to actually make this film profitable. This film really relies on some key demographics turning up and parting company with their hard-earned cash. But you've actually effectively alienated a lot of those key demographics by the way this media campaign has been run. Now, good media and PR is not about burning bridges, it's about building bridges. Yet it seems to me that this campaign has gone out of its way to burn bridges. That's the last thing you want to be doing with media engagement. It's the last thing you want to be doing with a PR campaign. It's all about building bridges in the hope that people will cross those bridges, and then when they get to the other side, part with their hard-earned cash and put it into your coffers. But I suspect that this movie is going to be a flop precisely because they have done everything wrong when it comes to engaging with the media and the general public in the marketing of this film. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.